We are going to read the excerpt from Holes again. Sometimes it's helpful to give yourself a purpose for reading. Our purpose for this read is to help us answer questions about the text. Turn to page 11 in your student book. I want you to read the questions aloud with me. Number 1. Who is the juvenile camp resident? Number 2. What is Camp Green Lake Juvenile Correction Facility? Number 3. Where is Camp Green Lake? Number 4. When does Stanley get to leave the Camp Green Lake premises? Now it is time to reread the text. Go back to page 3 and read the text silently. Now you will read the excerpt from Holes to yourself. When you have finished reading it, please look up so that I know we are ready to move on. In school, you are often asked questions. This is how teachers determine whether you are learning and whether they have taught something well. If you are unable to answer the question, they know that you didn't learn the information. It is critical to understand what the question is asking and how to answer it. Let's continue to work with our question words. Look at the question words on the board. Let's say them aloud together. Who? What? When? Where? Now turn to page 11 in your student books. We're going to read the chart at the top of page 11 aloud. The chart is about question words and how to answer the question based on the question word. If the question asks who, your answer must include information about a person or a group. If the question asks what, your answer must include an action or name of a thing. If the question asks when, your answer must include a specific time, date, or event. If the question asks where, your answer must include a general location or specific place. So now let's work with this chart a little bit more. If the question asks who, what must your answer include? If the question asks what must your answer include? If the question asks when, what must your answer include? If the question asks where, what must your answer include? Let's practice answering questions. Listen as I model the first one for you. Number 1, who is the juvenile camp resident? Looking at the chart, because the question is a who question, I know the answer will be a person. We will put part of the question in our answer, but let's start with the name Stanley Yelnats. I know that Stanley Yelnats is the camp resident, but I want to tell more about who he really is. Next, I can go back into the text to find information about his character. While I write my answer on the board, look at the introduction of the text and let me know if I have a good explanation of who Stanley is. Stanley Yelnats, an overweight kid from a poor family who was found guilty of a crime he didn't commit, is the juvenile camp resident of Camp Green Lake. Let's check for accuracy. Do I have a person in my answer? Yes, Stanley. How about the mechanics of a sentence? Have I used correct punctuation and capitalization? I've capitalized Stanley's name and the name of the camp. I have a period at the end of my sentence. I am done. Please write the answer to number 1 on your page 11. Let's look at question number 2. What is Camp Green Lake Correctional Facility? If the question asks what, our answer must include an action or name of a thing. In this case, we have the name of a thing and we have to tell what it is. Start by putting part of the question in your answer. What would be a good way to restate this question? Camp Green Lake Juvenile Correctional Facility is blank. Next, we have to remember or figure out what all of these words mean. What does juvenile mean again? What is a correctional facility? Let's look at the word correctional. What is the base word? Next, let's look at the word facility. A facility is a place designed for a specific use. Let's put the words together. Correctional facility. A juvenile correctional facility is a place to correct young people, or a prison for young people. So how could we answer this question and complete this sentence frame? Camp Green Lake Juvenile Correctional Facility is a prison-like camp where young people dig holes as punishment. Now, it's your turn to answer the questions. Read the 2 remaining questions and answer them in complete sentences. Use the chart to determine how to answer each question. Be sure to use part of the question